Good evening and welcome to NESA's League of Legends 2v2 tournament second win brought to you by Overclockers and Endgame Gear. I'm your caster for today, Dunk, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Ollie Shouts. Ollie, how you doing today, brother?
Well, if you really want me to get into it, I had a viewing for a house today, and it was pretty nice. It's a bit
Ooh.
expensive, but it is a very spacious, it's pretty good all round. So I'm doing decent as far as the day goes. I don't know if we'll put in an offer, but being an alumni, I have to do these sorts of adult things, nowadays. So yeah. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic actually. I slept all day. So both of us doing some responsible stuff with
Yeah.
our time, but you guys are here not to hear about our lives, but to hear about the final day of second win. And if we can get the bracket up, we've got all the action we're getting ready for you today for semi-final one, which will be coming up just in a sec. It's going to be Just Two Men Who Kiss going up against Prussian Blue. Both of these teams doing really well in the group stage. Just Two Men Who Kiss, I believe, the first seed. Prussian Blue, the second seed from Group 2, and semi-final 2, which will go on shortly after that. The Bungus boys are going up against the Lababes. The Babes are the second seed, and Bungus boys are the first seed. So should be interesting matches to start off today. I am just looking at the schedule, and I think we are just about ready to start. We'll wait for the players to be ready. But first of all, remember, guys, you can join the giveaway. I'm not exactly sure if there's a command in chat to join it or anything, but join the giveaway for, I believe, is it a chair, Oli? What is it?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's something good. Probably a noble chair. Noble chairs are good. But you guys can definitely hit that up. I believe our mothership will put the link in there somewhere, but I believe we're ready to get into Champ Select.
It's epic gaming time, boys. Oh my. I'm very excited. And of course, unfortunately, as far as I understand, none of the people that we have on tonight are pro Fortnite gamers, but at least as far as 2v2 goes, they are certainly those, and they are alumni, which, is kind of part of the deal. Watley, funny enough, his Tam Kench is getting banned away, and that surprises no one, actually. Yeah, no one.
Yeah, absolutely expected. And we see a Zyra ban come in as well. We've definitely seen a lot come from Zyra Heimerdinger early on in the group stage, so we'll see if they bring it out again. Though Carly, second ban.
She's busted.
Out.
She is stupid right now. Here's a question. The ARAM buffs and nerfs to champions, is that specifically for the ARAM game mode, or is that for the Howling Abyss map? How does that affect? Does it affect champions at all?
I want to say that it affects champions specific, like it's a Howling Abyss specific.
Only. Okay,
change,
cool.
Yeah.
I would have said, Akali's already damn strong this patch, but if she also got the Howling Abyss or / ARAM buffs to her as well, bro, she's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure we saw like Akali Lee Sin early on in the group stage, and it didn't work out, but it definitely looked like it had potential as we see some more bans come through. It's going to be LeBlanc and Senna. LeBlanc saw some action. I think she's mostly like a poke mage who can really just get away from any fight she engages in, and Senna obviously got great healing, great disengage from targets that have to really great poke as well.
Yeah, and considering there's no timeout rule as far as CS, you can pick a scaling champion. That is always an option. There's the Heimerdinger.
Yeah, absolutely. Heimerdinger, we've seen a lot. He just puts down these turrets in the lane. It pushes by itself at that point, right? Like, and they can't really engage on you, and they have a timer, right? They have to really get something done before level 6 when Heimerdinger gets that big turret. Otherwise, it spells trouble. We'll see what Wu and Handsome Stroll look to lock in here.
Brand, I was very confused that I didn't see this when I tuned into the stream. I will say I only tuned in very briefly, so you'll have to excuse me if it was picked already, but if it hasn't been, why? This champ is so good, especially in the 2v2.
So we actually saw some Brand. Yeah, it works. you throw down your abilities, it does damage, people die, and because it's such a narrow lane, it's so easy to hit those abilities. So, not surprised to see that. The Annie pick, something I haven't seen.
And that's what it's paired with. Yeah. Level 6, you get Tibbers, you get Wombo combo. There's a permanent CC chain, and you die. Even though they are both magic damage dealing champions, so you can build magic resist against them, they're still going to kill you. Brand's bounce is especially good. As you mentioned, the lane is really thin, so it's really difficult to get away from minions or your teammate. So you're gonna take at least a couple bounces from the Brand ultimate. Is Warwick the response that we're looking for? I don't know. He's certainly tanky. So he might stand a chance of being able to survive the burst and then heal back up through it.
I'm just concerned about every time he lands his suppression, he's going to be stunned by the other person.
Potentially.
But maybe they think because they're going to have the lane prio pretty much all the time, they'll be able to get some healing going on in the lane and eventually get that great engage going in on the squishier targets of Annie and Brand. But we're just waiting on the players to just get their runes of mastery set up. But Ollie, looking at the teams, who do you think takes it?
The Brand Annie one. If you've ever watched All Stars and that sort, you see this combination and it works. And there's a reason it gets picked. And I don't think Heimerdinger or Warwick are the answer. If they're smart, they might just be able to ignore the Warwick and kill Heimer twice in a row. Without much interaction, you just have to wait for the ultimate cooldowns. That might be the scenario. Again, really don't quite get the Warwick, but I believe Jess said in chat that that's all Watley picks, considering that Tam Kench gets banned, so that doesn't shock me either. Whether it works, don't know.
I'm thinking, does Annie have that interaction where if she kills a unit with her Q, she gets the mana back, right? So she can just continuously kill the Heimer turrets, as soon as she gets an opportunity to. Doesn't have to spend mana for it, just spends a cooldown, and she builds towards her stun. So Annie, I think, a pretty decent response to the Heimer. Like you said, the Warwick is really confusing, but we'll see if you can get any of those big engages off once he hits level 6, because that's where we're really going to see him do the most work.
I have to question whether the Annie Q is able to kill a turret straight up. That may not be the case, but if it is, this is a very good counter pick, as you've pointed out, and it's very effective at dealing with the one thing which you pick Heimer for, which is permanent push, forcing your opponents under tower, eventually whittling away at it, getting more CS leads, being able to buy better items when you do get that one death through. And also sort of preventing them from diving in on you, which I guess the opponent isn't actually trying to do. So the Heimerdinger pick is kind of neutralized, I think. You could say that the turrets might absorb a couple of the Brand bounces, but they also might set up for a few more of those as well. So I just have to lean in the favor of team names. What are they? They're all brilliant, but which one's the Brand and Annie team name?
Brand and Annie is just two men who kiss. I want to say it's just two men who kiss.
I mean, they just kiss. It's just two men that kiss.
It's a great name, isn't it, though?
It's a good name. Did someone say tidy my room? My room is tidy.
Leave Ollie alone. How dare you, chat?
Oh, got a tidy bed. Okay, right. Thank you. I'm bad at reading. I'm good at tidying, but bad at reading. So much better.
Notoriously bad at reading.
You know what? We have in case you didn't notice, there is that 3-minute spectator delay. And of course, when you run out of things to say at the end of the spectator delay, but there's still time remaining, what do we do, Dunk?
We fill time with not so
we shield
stuff. Oh, you are absolutely right. Remember, the second win is brought to you by Overclockers UK and Endgame Gear. Support them, get their merches. It's amazing stuff. But also, you guys can join the giveaway. Pretty sure we're going to get a link from Mothership going in there for a nice little noble chair.
Mothership. First time I've heard the reference of production as Mothership, but I think I have to stick with it as well. It works.
It's so good.
Big ups to the people that are putting on the tournament and everything as well.
Yeah, NESA is, I think such an interesting organization. Like, you have a place for people like us who are past uni at this point and kind of struggling to find a community of esports gamers like we did at uni. And it really brings everyone together, which I really, really like. And you guys should definitely join the Discord, follow them on Twitter and Twitch, and just make sure you stay up to date, because they're going to put on a bunch more events just like this one. But I believe we're just about ready to get into the loading screen. So we're going to have a quick look at what runes they're running. And actually, press the attack Warwick. So he's definitely looking for the Rumble in the Howling Abyss.
In the bridge. Rumble in the bridge, yeah.
I was going to say jungle, and I was like, there's no jungle here. Silly. But yeah, we just have to speed up our clients, and then we should be good to go. Howling Abyss Remember, a map where you start off for level 3, get a decent amount of gold to start off with.
Watley waiting for? There is potentially the strategy. I don't know if this has been used already, where you wait for some minions to come in and you just wait for a little bit more gold. You do fall behind in lane pressure, though. You fall a little bit behind CS. No, he was probably just tabbed out, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've seen it before, right? You sit in base and your first buy is just a lot better than theirs. You just don't have the necessary levels to fight them. But we're not going to see it today. What we are going to see is Watley throwing down those turrets. But yeah, we're seeing that Annie walk up, use the Incinerate on the turrets, and they're just bouncing it off all the minions there around. This is actually a great strategy.
Yeah, for sure. Watley doesn't actually have any sustain, of course, he's Warwick, but he needs to be able to hit minions to heal back up, and against double range, that might be an issue. Obviously, picking up his null magic mantle, both of them will be running some magic resist in their runes. Whether they went for 1 or 2 is also a question. There's this trade-off of, you know, once you can reduce enough of the opponent's damage, but you aren't dealing your own anyways, what does it matter? So statistically, I think you usually just go with the 1, but and of course, you don't want to factor out the fact that there are still auto attacks, which at earlier levels in the game, they still do make a difference in terms of damage and trading, especially the high-ranged auto attacks from Annie, for example. I don't think she has quite as high range as she used to, but it's still notable. So,
and one thing we're actually seeing is these Hammer turrets are getting taken down immediately, and if Hammer loses a turret, it actually ruins his game plan so hard. He can't get that auto push that he wants, and now we're seeing the wave actually bounce back towards Prussian Blue.
Yeah, it's tough. You actually want to kind of, if you can, hold on to a couple of your turrets so that if one gets killed, you can immediately replace it, because otherwise the problem is that you start losing your momentum with the wave and your control and stuff like that. But they don't have a way of really defending it until Warwick has level 6. So I like the idea of, as you're sat here on level 5, maybe just storing up the turrets, not placing them and letting yourself get 3 of them, which I think is actually the case right now for High Anxiety. You wait till 6, then you can go and place your turrets, and then when they try to destroy them, you can contest them in the fight. The question is, do you win the fight? And I don't think they do. So,
well, level 6 locked in. Everyone's got access to the ultimates now. Warwick with the suppression. Heimerdinger has access to the empowered ability. Gonna see the bouncing fire come out from Brand, Annie has access to Tibbers. She lands that, it might be the end of a team fight. Immediately, Warwick goes right in, stunned up by Tibbers. Going to be locked down.
There's one ultimate. The Brand perfectly timed that there, dude. The Brand ultimate didn't manage to get a bounce because of the separation that came through. And the damage, funny enough, was there to just assassinate the Annie completely there. I understand the Warwick pick.
He was being bled down, right, with the Ignite, with all the damage coming in, but it just wasn't enough after their first rotation. They couldn't kill him.
And there you go. They waited till level 6, and they won it. I really like the timing of Watley's ultimate there. I wonder whether it was on purpose or not. But the way that it was able to absorb the Brand bounce, so it didn't travel any further, it didn't have any effectiveness whatsoever. That should have been a 1-for-1 otherwise, if that didn't happen. I think Heimerdinger had a low enough health bar that he could have died. But yeah, Warwick was just too tanky, and they just healed back up through the burst.
And now Just Too Many Kids are in a precarious position, right? They can't make any errors in any fights. Brand has already died, so he's got his buy-in. It's going to be Sork Boots coming out for him. But if they make a single error, if they lose one person, it's completely over. They're going to the next game. And with the execution we saw from Prussian Blue, if they just rinse and repeat that again, it looks like it's just going to go the same way.
So the strategical int, is this something that gets used at all? After you've gotten the 1-kill lead, you have one of your members die anyway, so then they have an item lead over the enemy. Is that something that has been seen?
I've heard teams talk about it, but I haven't seen it reproduced personally, but it's definitely a good idea if you have a buy-in, right? Like, if you have a really good buy-in, you can get, like, I don't know, if you buy a whole mythic item and something else, then sure, kill yourself. Wow, that's toxic. But sure, you know, suicide and get the money, and get the buy-in. But if not, I think you just stay in lane and you sit there and you wait, because no skin off your back.
Yeah, you could say, like, the risk is if you go for a 2v2 and for some reason both of you die, then it's really unfortunate. And you can make the argument that if one of you intentionally dies, then you have the risk that when you go for the 2v2 and only one of you dies, then you lose. But especially against double magic damage compositions, dude, being able to purchase some more magic resist is huge, especially for the Warwick if he's going to be face tanking like he just did there. That is to say, has the Annie purchased enough, magic penetration with those Sork boots to sort of outdo the magic resist that Warwick is currently sitting on, and whether it's justifiable to go and purchase some more. But imagine him coming back into lane with like Merc Treads and more, he's unkillable at that point, so you kind of guarantee you can just run them down. Well, they're going for it. Snowball has connected. That's very, very, very deep here from Watley.
Oh, the stun up from Annie.
Oh, the ult. Okay. Well, we're not going to see a kill here, I don't think. Okay, Randall did come down. This is the bounces that we were talking about, having to flash to, I think, just avoid that final bounce that might have come through onto Heimerdinger and then potentially killed him with the brand passive afterwards. Again, I wonder, this is a point of consideration. Was it worth maybe just letting one of you die there? Don't know.
I think right now they have to look into it, right? You're looking at Heimerdinger on 3.4k, Warwick on 3,000 gold. They need to really,
that's a whole item.
Kill themselves. Yeah,
that's a Spirit Visage or something like that for the Warwick, which is, it's quite substantial. Also, Heimerdinger is kind of low here, and you can't step up for this because Handsome Strong has flash. So that's a flash stun, then you're dead.
Remember, no sums on the side of Prussian Blue. Flash and cleanse gone for Heimerdinger. The barrier gone for Watley. They're lucky to survive that last fight, but Annie still holding onto the flash, still can pull off that deadly combo. And I'm interested to see if she just pulls it off rip if she gets to the underneath tower.
I think Watley definitely went too deep there as well in that fight. Like, a Heimerdinger is a character who ideally you walk at him. If not, then at least he has other options. That was inevitable at some point. At least you forced the flash, right? Which means now you've got the 5-minute timer or whatever it is on this game mode. It might be altered. But now you can go for this Annie, and if you are a human, as Double Lift would say, then you can land that Warwick ult. You should land that Warwick ult on an immobile Annie. Turret dropping here is whatever. I don't see them getting the second turret as a win condition, and they can't actually use the gold which they've obtained from killing the turret hit. So
it's pretty inconsequential. All it does is actually make the lane a lot longer. No turret to walk behind, but we'll see how both teams choose to handle it. And you can see just Humanu Kiss is standing super far back, right? They are not risking walking anywhere near the enemy team here. But looking at the items, I want to see what he came back with. Heimerdinger came back with a whole bench as well, but it's not going to matter.
Gone wide. Oh, that's all the damage. Warwick isn't going to be able to live. That's game. Beautiful. Beautiful Zhonya's. I don't think it would have made much of a difference as far as the Warwick healing. The argument could be made he would have healed back through all of the burn that was on him, but there you go. We mentioned it. I would have liked to see some magic resist on the Warwick, and because it wasn't him to die, it was instead Heimer who picked up the Banshees. Well, that was irrelevant because they didn't focus you. So there you go.
It's one of those situations where it's like, would you rather leave it to fate to decide who gets to go back and buy, or would you rather have the decision to do so? Because I think having a Warwick with something like a Spirit Visage, as you said, would have been catastrophic for just two men, right? They would have had to burn through a man who has unbelievable magic resist and healing, which would have been nigh on impossible. But it's going to be just two men who take the first game. Remember, guys, it is best of 3, so it's not over for Prussian Blue. They still have another chance, but they're going to have to make something amazing happen. I think we're going to get right into the games. I think they're ready to go right off the bat. But what do you want to see? What adaptation do you want to see from Prussian Blue, Ollie?
Don't let Brandon Annie through. I mean, it's like it's a combo which we are aware of. It's probably, I'm trying to think of other ones that are equally as strong on this game mode. Caitlyn plus something else to just defend the Caitlyn, I think is another option. But yeah, interesting. I guess they don't want to see the Heimer again.
Yeah, I don't think they want to let it go into the hands of Just Two Men Who Kiss. They know that Just Two Men Who Kiss have played it before, and they played it to perfection, absolutely dominating the Lababes in the first day of Second Wind. So absolutely no slouches. They get rid of the Warwick. I think they acknowledge the Warwick was a good shout, as well as the Time Kench from Watley.
Just get rid of Watley's champions.
If Watley can't play, it's a 2v1. Win.
That is true. But I think Watley... Let me think. Singed is another champion he likes, and Singed would not work on this game mode, I don't think. Who else does he play? There must be some Renekton, or like... There is Mundo, but there has to be other things for him. There has to be other options, and the question is, what is it? Whether you can figure that out and ban it, or whether you just want to see it. This is a best of 3, of course, so...
Yep. And as far as I know, these guys know each other super well. So they'll know exactly what's in the arsenal and what they can and can't play. So he's going to have to pull out some stops here. It's going to be Son of the last ban for Just Two Men Who Kiss, Prussian Blue. Going to have to find the ban to unlock themselves here. But I'm worried that they've left a bit too much open for the first pick for Just Two Men Who Kiss. You have Annie, you have Brand, you have Caitlyn, you have Ornn, who's up and available.
Yeah, see, with the lack of a CS rule, things like Ornn, things like Nasus are actually pretty damn good. If you can just stall out, of course, the Senna, which has already been banned away, is another one. Akali, clearly they've been practicing. Someone was like, oh, by the way, this is broken, and they're not going to let it through. But funny enough, Annie and Brand are still an option. Zilean is interesting.
You can't mess it up. I was going to say a naughty word. You can't mess it up with 2 lives. And that is what Zilean's about, right? Have someone else be the super carry and they get to live twice. But I'm interested to see who they're going to pick as a second pair to go with Zilean. But I think Zilean is a fantastic pick. And we're going to see the Ornn come out from Watley. Are you listening to us in chat, Watley? Because if you are, you listen to the right people. Ornn, great pick because you can buy your items out. Really like it there. We're going to see the second pick come out from Prussian Blue.
I was going to say, Zilean is a very good pick if the opponent can't kill you the second you get revived. And so I don't know if I like it as a first pick, as the blind pick. Ornn Varus, that's probably fine for Zilean, I think. If the Ornn expends their knock-up and then it's not available again as the revive comes through, for example, then you're probably fine. And Varus has relatively long cooldowns if you're going for the poke version of it, so... It's interesting. Syndra to round it out. So again, double magic damage. So you have the option of building magic resist, but as we saw, that didn't seem to make a difference in the previous game mode. Previous match. Ornn, however, is far tankier, so he can lean even further into that. So then the question is, can Varus live past a Syndra ultimate? Does a Varus even need to get in range of a Syndra ultimate?
The thing I'm worried about is every time Varus goes to Q, he's going to be really slow, really immobile. If he happens to get hit by the stun, in my head, you can just walk past the Ornn and blow him up with the Syndra ulti if you are 6.
Ornn's allowed to buy items.
Ornn is allowed to buy them. He's going to have Bambi Cinder, so you can't, he's going to have Bambi Cinder at some point, right? Like, you can't just walk past him. But it's a question of, does he opt to go for something like Bami's, or does
you can just you can just int the Varus at one point. He comes back with a full item, and Ornn will be buying full items. So then you're like your complete items versus non-complete items. Don't you just win?
It's an interesting debate, Ollie.
What that says to me is there's a lot of pressure on the Zilean Syndra combo to get kills early, like early. I don't know if that's the combo to get kills early. So again, this is sort of where I question the Zilean as the blind pick. Ornn would have sat much nicer there for sure.
And the thing is as well, if you have like an Ornn as well, I think Ornn pairs well with anybody. You put one on the team and he'll fend for himself, and you can pick someone self-sufficient to go with it. But I think Zilean and Syndra if they can poke out that Ornn, I think they may have a good time in the early game. They've got a bunch of CC, right? You can hit the slow with Zillion into Double Bomb, into Syndra, I believe it's Scatter the Weak. And it's not an insignificant amount of damage. And if they can keep poking him, eventually get him on the tower, then it becomes a threat on both characters.
Why
but
does he need to get close?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, he can literally just stand back and chill. So they will have push, but like, I don't think Prussian Blue cares.
No.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Ornn pairs well with everyone, and I'm trying to think of like if there is a world where Ornn doesn't pair well with someone. You blind pick him, you get to see what the opponent's 2 picks are, and then you can come in with like the counter that will just get boosted by your Ornn. You know, you go with the opponent goes with 2 champions like Annie Brand or something, and then you could go like Tryndamere, so you guaranteed survive the burst, and then they can't really run away from you. You know, there you maybe have the problem of having double melees, but you know, the point is that you have the options, you have the power of counter pick, and whatever you counter with is just supported by the Ornn. So
your logic is actually completely sound, and I'm thinking
I don't know what.
I
think Ornn needs to be banned actually. But this is, you know, as someone who hasn't actually practiced any 2v2s in a very, very long time, so who's to say the meta isn't changed or anything like that?
The biggest problem with having to play Ornn is the fact that you're playing Ornn. But like,
he's been perma-banned this whole tournament. This is the first time he's open. Okay, yeah, cool.
Wait, really?
Cool. Yeah, apparently.
Did they just forget? Like, I don't know, because I think
they must have, right?
Because they let it champion.
Yeah,
he's not particularly busted, but the fact that he can buy whatever he wants
is busted in this game mode. Yeah,
exactly.
But also as a champion, he is particularly busted. But we'll overlook that.
He's not busted.
Dude, if the game goes past 30 minutes and you have an Ornn, if he goes past level 13, you're winning.
Yeah, you are. You got 4K of value.
Yeah, the only thing counteracting it is dragon stacking. So if dragon stacking is ever not as valuable as it is right now, Ornn is, you know, one of the best champions in the game straight up, and he still gets picked on from time to time. So yeah, I think he's good. I love all the stopwatches.
Yep, and it's a high value. It's a high value mastery. Oh, sorry, a rune mastery is one of those. It's a high value rune to have in this game mode. Very effective item sorters. We just speed up the game just a teeny tiny bit, so we can get right into it.
Spellbook Ornn.
Yeah, so Spellbook Ornn is cool.
The other 2 options that you effectively have is Grasp and Aftershock, right? But I like Spellbook Ornn.
He's not going in. He doesn't need the Aftershock or the
Guardian.
Grasp. Guardian may have been a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah. But Spellbook, it gives you so many options. And I think that's the main thing. Are those options better than just a shield for your ally? I don't know. But yeah, we'll just have to see the utility that Watley pulls out with it. See if he's smiting some cannon minions.
Well, standard starts for everyone. All buying meets Howling Abyss items and some pots.
Yeah, they're just so effective.
I realized what their team is now. It makes sense. So Syndra is going to pick up the minions and try and throw the bombs. This is a cheesy strategy, and it really just shouldn't work.
But it won't, because they don't need to get close.
Exactly. So I think it's a cool pair. It's a cool combo to have, but I think Ornn first pick is definitely just a lot more value. But we're definitely going to see just too many kids get the push. Preferably want nothing to do with them this early on in the game. They want to wait till they get a couple of items. Just going to see a bunch of attempted poke come out. But the thing is, like, Prussian Blue have their own poke. It's Varus Q. He's going to come throwing his own a bit too far up. Going to eat a bomb.
That's fine. There's a health pick, pack right there. And again, he will be running a magic resist rune. Not taking any auto attacks. He's not getting close enough for it. So I like this combo. I like the Syndra Zillion combo. If it was red side. But again, we'll see how it plays out. You know, I could be completely wrong. And they do just absolutely destroy this Varus when it comes to level 6. They flash on him and kill him. That could very well be the case, in which case I'll eat my words. But yeah, I think they're going to struggle. I think they're really going to struggle.
Oh, Well, they managed to land a little bit of poke on the virus. I don't think he's had to pop any of his potions. Actually, he's absolutely fine. But
He's
it
got
will
Guardian's
become an
Hammer.
issue. Oh,
So,
he's gonna
lifesteal.
lifesteal off everything. Yeah.
It's a bit of a struggle to actually get in auto attack range, because of the potential QE from Syndra, which he can get in range to do. So this is going to be a lot of damage for sure.
Oh, there's 6.
But it's not going to be a kill.
Yeah, like a little scuffle going on. They managed to get the Scatter the Weak to land, but I think the threat of the Varus level 6 was enough to sort of push them back, but they will take the flash.
Yeah, it was a nice knockout from Watley as well to interrupt it. Syndra never actually got to press R. I actually wonder if kill threat is really what you're looking for, because again, the later this game goes on, the more advantage this Ornn pick is going to provide. I wonder if Sork Boots was the play for Syndra.
Ooh. Would have had a couple mana issues, but maybe just having the first option to kill is the only way through, right?
You have the push. You're always going to have the push. So you're always going to have the health packs. Yeah. So is mana really that much of an issue? It's your kill threat. That's what matters most.
Oh my goodness, the first buy-in from Ornn, it's a Spectre's Cow. They're so not going to have a fun time.
Yeah, he can afford to be poked out now. He can actually step up a bit further. Whether he will, I don't know, but you know, it's harsh poke. Oh, that's a kill. Oh no! Okay, yeah, able to actually get out of range using the cleanse that he had utilized, available in his pocket. Oh, he missed the Ornn Horn. The revive is coming through and got completely mistimed. There was no communication there, so stopwatch prevented the revive from happening.
You hate to see that kind of thing happen. The ulti comes out from Wu. He says, I will protect you, brother. Handsome Strong says, I will protect myself. And there's no ulti to gain. Watley walks in and gets the kill. Oh,
that's not how it's supposed to go.
Oh.
And I want to just point out, High on Anxiety, opting with the cleanse instead of barrier, instead of heal, anything like that. Syndra couldn't get in range to even press R, which has been the case like 2 times now, and I think it might continue to be so. The only exception will be when Handsome Strong gets his flashback up again. This is going to be tough. Again, they made a mistake. They paid for it with one of the 2 deaths that they can afford to have, but the game continues to go, and Ornn will continue to buy items. And Varus will eventually be able to purchase. That's the kill, which is nice. Watley just needs to avoid dying here. I think he can just walk away just fine. And let's see what Varus buys.
They're never going to kill Ornn at this point, right? He's too stacked up on magic resist. They are literally... I think they actually have a chance here. They're going to have to run at the Varus every single time.
Yes.
Varus died early on, so he's not going to be able to get any sort of upgraded item. But look at that buy. Yep. Oh my goodness. He's going to have a Hex Drinker, have the shield up for whenever that Syndra ulti comes down.
And the Serrated Dirk for even more poke potential, even more damage. The only reason they were able to get the kill there, I should mention, is because Cleanse was still on cooldown. So the Ignite was able to come through, as well as, you know, Syndra could actually get in range to do the ultimate. But it's back up again. So now they have to force it once, and ideally force the Hex Drinker passive, and then go for a kill after that when the Cleanse is still on cooldown. Or
it's a lot to break through.
Yeah, or you just lose. That's I guess the other option.
Yeah, it's valid. You can lose. I will say they do have one game in hand.
What's on building? Oh, Spirit Visage. Okay.
It's over for their chances to kill him. He will never die. So right now, Watley is unkillable. What I do think they can do, though, is maybe, if they can burn all the things you said, run past that Ornn and maybe get the quick burst down onto High on Anxiety on the Varus and maybe end the game here, but it's such a tough ask.
So Watley switched his flash that he expended into an Ignite. So if they do go for an all-in, they have that advantage. But if this is the only use that there's been so far, Guardian was the better option, I think.
The thing is, Ignite is a straight-up counter to Zillion, right? If you Ignite someone and they die, they come back with less health. So
if it lasts, yeah, I think if you time the Ignite correctly, yes. Straight up counter. I think it's strong against it. I don't know if it's a straight up counter though. Especially because a strategy is to get someone really, really low that has Zillion ult and then leave them. But if you've ignited them, then it will force it. You know, there's options. They're going in here. The ignite will get dropped shortly after. When he actually lands the ultimate this time, Zillion going to be forced to ult himself. But there you go. The ignite popped it. You don't want that.
And he actually came back with about 60% HP, so no problem there. And that is what you want to see. That's the use of your ultimate. It's on a 70-second cooldown. So they got 70 seconds to survive.
I think they can do it. I think they can pull it off. The ultimate for Watley is 101 seconds. So actually, that might not be back in time.
Cooldowns are a bit janky here, but
yeah,
I'm looking at this. They need to get this cleanse as soon as possible, right? If they can get this cleanse off, they have so much kill pressure. But Wu going in.
Oh, poor timing. Didn't manage to get the knock up. I don't know if Zillion was just in the circle of knock up anyways, though. But unfortunate. That again, they're trying to commit for this kill without their ultimates, and it's a little bit difficult. You really have to be poking out Zillion here. That's what you need to do, but he's just standing a bit too far back.
He's walking into really strange areas to try and force that cleanse, get a double bomb or something, but he's taking so much damage, and it's such a risky play without your ultimate being back up, which is just come up now. No flash, obviously. But other than that, all sums are up for both teams. We're seeing the flash and heal come back from Watley, so if he does need to use it, he can.
Exhaust would be really, really nice, actually.
For the Syndra.
As a secondary summoner, you throw it onto the Syndra right as she ults, and then your Varus is probably going to live a little bit longer. Long enough? Don't know. I think so. I hope so.
And
remember, Syndra does have those Hawk boots, by the way. She did manage to buy those, so that's a substantial amount of damage that she was able to pick up.
Imagine if she came back with more. The early death so punishing.
It's rough
for just two men as they land the double stun. But look, he just doesn't care. He's not taking any of that damage, and they're just going to walk back and wait. But otherwise, I think this game is going to go into a slight low, and you're going to see it explode at some point. Nice poke landed.
It's just when someone finds an engage opportunity. That's it. When they see the angle, I think blue team are just a bit too close to their tower right now for the red team to actually look for the engage. I don't think they'd be particularly comfortable with it. But at the same time, they are just shoving. They're not letting their opponent push out. So it is very much going to be a lull for a while. Stun came through, but no follow-up. Ultimate from Ornn is interesting. Don't know if it was necessary. They didn't have the follow-up, so it's tough. They can't shove the tower because you just get hit by CC. So you can't step up to it. So you just have to let minions die. The thing is, this is the optimal strategy, though, right? Like, you don't need to force a kill. You don't need to rush fights as red side. So why not just keep pushing them?
In the back, by the way, Watley bought another Spectre's Cow, and the flash falls. That was a great bomb placement. And High on Anxiety actually knew he was going to get hit by the double bomb if he didn't move there. Choose to spend his flash instead
of the cleanse, yeah, which is interesting. Snowball on Watley.
Oh, that would have been diabolical if it hit. I think he would have been able to get a lot of damage. Now maybe he forced the flash from Syndra, but nothing as of yet. Oh, and the snipe comes in. What a shot from High on Anxiety, and he's going to even it up for Prussian blue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had ult. He just didn't see it coming. He was too distracted by Watley's snowball play. I have nothing to say, man.
It's so much damage coming down. Like, when you're getting, like, hit in a team fight, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm getting hit. I can ulti, blah, 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 etc., etc.
But it was the lethality,
the arrow comes through, you're just dead. You have to have the zoomer reactions if you want to get that ulti off, and he just did not see that at all. What a shot from High on Anxiety, and that evens up the set. 1-1 the score. It's going all the way to the final game. And I think they lost in Champ Select. And they will be, I think, Ornn going to be banned on the other side for sure, right? They're swapping sides, so just two men are going to be on red side, which I think is the favorable side to be on.
No, but
No,
it
blue
depends
side
on
is-
bans. It really, really depends on bans, and I don't think there is actually enough bans. So I personally prefer blue side. I think you go with just a
Okay.
generic OP pick, like Ornn
Yeah.
or Akali or maybe Nasus. I haven't seen him just yet, but
The thing is, if those bans are gone, if those general like these are
Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger or Nasus, I think those three are uncounterable to an extent, right? We saw the Annie and Brand come through.
Yeah.
But generally those three picks are safe blinds, right?
Yeah.
If you don't get any of those, I think red side is the best side to be on. You get to see one half of their team and you get to essentially counter pick for free with yours.
Say there are 4 OP blind picks, right?
Mhm.
Then that means the opponent can only ban 3, so you're guaranteed 1 on blue side,
True.
and then you can use your 3 bans against the counters for your OP blind pick on blue side, and then you still get to respond to the comp that your opponent pulls out. So I'm pretty sure the question is, are there 4 OP blind picks? And
No.
so Heimerdinger, Ornn, you say Nasus.
trying to
Akali
think-
keeps getting banned, so the question is whether Akali's there. And obviously, if you're against Watley, then Tahm Kench has to be one of them. So
I have not seen Akali win personally.
yeah, it gets banned though. Is the point? So
Yeah,
maybe it's up there. Point being,
Mm.
I think blue side's actually favored.
I mean, I think it's kind. I want to say it's up to preference, so I don't lose the discussion / debate. But you do have sound reasoning, right? If there's 4 picks, you can pretty much get away with anything.
Well, I am
in
an
this 2v2.
adult now, and I'm alumni, which means I have a degree. So you should take everything I
Ooh.
say as fact.
Very smart boy.
I believe that's how it works, right? I just
What
got
the
ruined karma in a chest. Oh, wait, I wasn't spec. Oh no, whoops.
There is a
I am a
random
spec.
Lababe chilling in the game. I don't know what
What?
he's doing here, but Kitsune chose to join the lobby.
What
Not
a
your
lad.
game yet, mate. You're up next, but we're gonna get to the conclusion of just too many kiss going up against Prussian Blue, and we've seen what was it? Red side win on both occasions.
Yes,
So if they continue the trend, it should be.
but they
just too
should
many
like
games.
they shouldn't though. You know,
They
you know what I
shouldn't.
mean? Like as blue side, you should be banning Brand or Annie, like one of the two for sure every time.
Okay, so Brand is a must ban. I think Ornn is a must ban. I think
Yeah,
Heimerdinger is essentially a must ban.
yeah.
Um,
Tahm Kench is when you're against Watley.
that's 4.
Who's on what side?
Hmm.
Let's see. Okay, so red side have to ban Heimer, Ornn, Tahm Kench, right?
The thing is, why ban Tahm Kench if you know he's going to play it? Why not
Because
just
you know
counter
he's
pick
going to play it and you know he'll destroy you with it.
it? Okay, is he just that much better on Tahm Kench? Am I missing something here? Is he
Yes.
just insane?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair,
Also, there's
fair.
I'm pretty sure there's a cheese strategy on this game mode where you can. I don't know whether it's still in play or not, but Tahm Kench can like eat you and just run you under turret and then spit you back out. Again, don't know if that's still a thing, but it was for a period of time. So he would just ult on top of you and then just run you back. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see the bans come through. Ornn, Heimerdinger, and Zyra.
Blue
banned so
side
far.
Heimer ban. Okay. I guess, yeah, if they don't like it, that's fine. But I feel like you should make your opponent ban it, you know? And
I feel like the pick and ban side of this team is on the other side. I don't know about banning Heimer and Zyra, both of them especially. On
Senna,
blue side.
is Senna a blind pick that you would say is too strong?
No, I wouldn't say that personally.
No?
I don't think
Okay.
Senna. I think like Senna doesn't do as much as some of the other must bans. Like Nasus is still open. I think AP Nasus is actually ridiculous in 2v2.
Right, Brandon Annie is
full
still
soft.
open.
Oof. I mean, we have to see one picked here, right? For sure.
Maybe, or they think they figured out a counter to it.
Cassidon. No way.
No, no,
There's no way in hell.
no. Cassidon with Ornn, maybe, right? But
Varus, they picked it again.
okay,
They're comfortable with it. But surely we just see Annie and Brand again, right?
I think you do. Because what can protect the Varus? Like a Zillion, maybe, but
Annie, are we going to see the second part of The fiery duo come
Why
through.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just pick Brand here?
Yeah,
It's just it's really really strong. So what's the answer here? What
I
is
think Prussian Blue lose it.
maybe?
Unless they have some sort of amazing counter to this, but I don't see one. Maybe Morgana? I can't think of anything. Like it's
Morgana
so
wouldn't work. They'd break the
broke
shield.
through,
They'd break the
yeah.
black shield. And if it was like a flash Tibbers, then you're not reacting quick enough anyways. So okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
They go for the Warwick pick here, and it worked out for them in the first game to some degree.
I still think Annie and Brand win.
Yeah, I mean they did. Like
Yeah, I still think they win.
they
Because we saw that the work. Okay, yeah, it was effective level 1, but not level 1. The initial level 6, but after items had been purchased and that sort of thing, it stopped being good enough, and the Warwick just did die. So unless you this time you go with your int on your Warwick, and you actually make sure that you get the Spirit Visage on him, I still think Annie and Brand win. So, but I really like that both teams are like, well, this strategy is clearly better, and we're going to stick to our guns on it. Also, Nasus was available, and neither of them picked them. So, you claiming that he's literally unbeatable?
I think he's really good. I don't think he's unbeatable. I think he's really, really good, right?
Right.
AP Nasus is like he can do everything that you want in 2v2. He's pretty much a jack of all trades, right? He can get the push really easily. If someone wants to sort of take you to the quote unquote end game of 2v2, he can do pretty well there. He has the infinite stacking as well. He has the ulti, which can be pretty clutch in dire situations. An amazing CC in the Wither. If someone gets hit by Wither, they're not moving. They're pretty much going to die. He's a really, really good pick, but I think some teams maybe not necessarily favoring it. And like honestly, if you pick Nasus into Annie Brand, you're gonna die. You're not really
again. Why was the Annie or Brand ban? They clearly don't respect it as a duo, even though they lost to it. So clearly, it must be stating it was a mechanical failure in the first game. That was the issue.
Yeah, and honestly, I do kind of think that they got the first engage off pretty clean, and I think the mistake was looking for the second one without suiciding first. If they had just waited to get that 3,000 gold, okay, Warwick, kill yourself, get the Spirit Visage in hand, I think it would have gone a lot better. But maybe some poor decision making coming out from Prussian Blue was the problem there. But we'll see which team is going to win out in the end. Just a reminder to you guys, this tournament, second win brought to you by Overclockers and Endgame Gear. Get yourself some nice merch from either of those. You can also enter the giveaway. Mothership going to put that in chat anytime now. Let's get a nice little noble chair. I'm sure you guys hit that up. And remember to follow on social media, Twitter, Twitch, and join the Discord if you are alumni of any university. Join in what is going to be, and is, to be honest, an amazing community of gamers.
Give me chair, says King Coney. Well, actually, I would like the chair, so give me chair.
To be honest,
I present that argument to you, and I await your response. Thank you very much.
Ollie, you're so old now. Like I present this argument to you. Please respond.
So old now.
please respond like it's an email.
I think I'm about maybe 2 years older than when you first met me. I'm so old now.
It's an old man. I remember Zoom Ollie, the good old days.
Oh,
young
God.
Ollie.
Mate, I was I caught back up with like my first year housemates the other day, just reminiscing on the stupid get this right. Get this. Here we go. First year Ollie, absolute idiot. I'm up at like 4 a.m. I'm like, I want to be annoying because being annoying is funny, right? What if I took all the tables and all of the kitchens in the block and hid them?
Okay, I get mad. So
right.
Objective succeeded. Right? You've done it.
Here's the dumb part though. What if I hid them on staircases, blocking them?
I can't lie, that's genius.
What if they happen to also be fire exits and there was a fire that night?
Less genius.
Yes,
more
right,
bad.
Exactly. I'm like, 18-year-olds are allowed to vote, are they? Really? Because I'm pretty sure 18me was an absolute moron.
I mean, it
was funny though. But
it's pretty funny
at the time. Yeah.
Oh,
man. Yeah.
I would have laughed and then been very mad as I'm trying to get
funny
out
enough,
the fire exit.
I had to put the tables back because people were very annoyed when they woke up in the morning. Big shock there, but yeah, good times.
Not a big shock. We're gonna get right into the game. Both teams, this is their last chance. You lose here, you go home. No nice prize for you.
Oh my god, the Warwick purchase.
Oh boy. That's a man who doesn't want to take poke.
It's not even poke. It's an all-in commitment. It's saying we're going to kill you in the 2v2 from the get-go. There's not going to be one kill and then we wait. That's to me says a commitment that I want to kill both of you in one go.
Do you know what it says to me? It says to me he's planning on dying. He plans to die, go back, because one of the benefits of not buying the
is you can get a completed item faster.
Exactly. Yeah. You can get that completed item, get that spirit visage, get merc treads. And I think he's investing in that instead of buying the early game orientated
Snowball went wide. Oof. Oh, so did the Q. That's okay.
That's okay. Missed abilities are...
They're fine. They're fine with everyone. Instant hex drinker purchase as well for high on anxiety, which again, I like that, but I don't think it's enough. I also don't know if the cleanse is... I think it is the one here, actually. Yeah. Again, your considerations are heal or barrier or something along those lines, but versus ignite and exhaust and double CC, you're able to like cleanse flash away, and that's getting out of range of your opponent is the most important thing as far as survival goes, especially because Brand's, his W has a little bit of a startup time, so you can dodge that damage, and that's a big chunk. So I respect it from high on anxiety, but again, if you're ever forced to use both of them, you need both of them. Watley going in level 5, and CC exists, but look at the amount of damage.
He's just dragging his teammate to take poke. I think that's a not good play. He's burnt through 2 pots, I guess, or 3 pots from the 1 pot.
He's waiting for the exact level 6er, I think. He missed his snowball yet again, but that's okay. At this point, we just don't expect it to land. But if he's hovering in that bush as level 6 comes in, if they have the push, they get level 6 before their opponents, instantly press that R button, right? Control R, go in.
And I think that's a breaking point, right? If they can get that first kill at level 6, it means they go back with not a great buy, and you can really push home that lead, and they're standing up.
They're conscious of it, and he's holding on to the stun. They went for that health pack, even though they weren't particularly low. It's more about having as much health as you can. And they're standing at a position where they're so close to turret that Watley cannot just force an engage here. So really, really respectful play. I really like that.
And they want to win. I think there was a lot of memes and poops and giggles, but now they don't want to lose to their teammates, right? They really want to win. You can see they're playing relatively safe around it. Oh no, you can't get stunned there!
Oh no. Okay, the W didn't connect, and the Ignite does get cleansed out there. But there was no Brand ultimate, because funny enough, Brand didn't have it. But what was that about? He
chose death, Ollie. That was it. He chose death. He walked into Annie range and was surprised when he got hit by the bear. Why are you surprised? It's nonsensical to me.
It was to prevent Annie from getting the heal, which, to be fair, is a very, it's a Lee syndrome type thing. It's like, no, you don't get this, no. But then you kind of forget the fact that you're not supposed to be doing that. And also, it was such a, inconsequential heal that the Annie was stepping in for.
Watley is scheming. Look at him. If he can land, the thing is, he's going to be stunned immediately.
He'll live through it, though. If he has his E, you get damage reduction from it, so he won't die. The problem is if the opponents stand far enough away as they are, then there's no follow-up. Varus has to walk a while before he can actually assist you and come in with his own ultimate. He has to, walk there and then charge up the Q because he's slowed otherwise. So with where the wave is right now, I appreciate that Brandon and Annie aren't getting any CS, but they don't need it because it's not part of the rules. So just stand back. It's fine. You're still going to get passive XP anyways.
And honestly, you're seeing the 3 non-magic mantles coming clutch for Watley, right? He stood in and tanked a decent amount of damage, but managed to, I think, hold on to his life because he picked up those no magic mantles. Sorry.
And this is where we sort of question. They let the Brandon Annie through. We have to assume that's because they felt it wasn't as strong as it appeared to be. It's because of mechanical failure. But then we just saw some mechanical failure as far as the chunk that came down onto Varus. So
little mental failure as well there, to be honest. But
a little bit of snowball failure as well. But again,
we just gonna pull out all their failures at this point. Level 8 coming out for most of the team. I think Brand is the only one. Oh, that Varus is very high level.
Mana, by the way, like he doesn't have any mana items, does he? So, how does he keep getting away with this? That's usually what I would have thought would have held the Varus pick back. He would have had to have picked up like a tier or something, but seems fine.
To be fair, he's been managing it very well. You're not seeing him throw loose Qs everywhere.
And he's not landing a lot of them either. To be fair, more so because his opponents are dodging very well. But you kind of, if you're going to pick Varus to poke down the opponent so that you can win the all-in, you need to be poking them down.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's tough, I will say that. Like, they are going to be max range Qs if they do land. And generally, you're not going to land too many in succession.
It is tough. It is tough.
But now we're looking at Watley, I think. It's all about, can Watley get that great engage off?
I don't even think it's that. Like, Watley can get a great engage, but if they just insta-kill High on Anxiety, who cares, right? It's more so him being... It's his positioning. That's what's key. There's the poke that we're looking for. Thank you. I like it.
But, look, the pot comes through. They're going to heal that back up.
Yeah. Biscuits, very nice. Tons of biscuits actually on the board.
And look at the gold in the Varus's back pocket. He has 3.5k, right? I'm not sure if he's the one you want to die here. But like, if he does die and comes back with like some disgusting lethality item, like
it's gonna be nice, but they'll just insta kill Warwick.
Yeah,
that's the issue here. Also, bear in mind that Varus Q is not going to get any stronger from here. He's now level 9. He's maxed that ability. You're going to get a bit more of the base AD scaling if that's a thing. I'm not sure if it's bonus AD or base AD. Let me hover over it. But it's not going to get particularly stronger. So
it's just going to increase the value of every Q that hits. But at the moment, none of them are hitting, right? So I do think you actually just let Warwick die and hope he can just annoy them to death. And look, he's scheming. The snowball will land. But no movement as of yet. Watley staying still for now as we see Wu walk into the bush. And some strong. Standing back. He's got that stun ready, locked and loaded. And he walks through. And yeah, Hamster Strong just going to hold on to that stun. He needs to hold on to it. The second he doesn't have it, Watley engages.
Yeah, this is tough. This is really, really tough. If we had the CS rule, for example, right now, there'd be a threat. Look at the CS values that they'd have, like 79. Right now, red team would have to go in, right? But I wonder if you just look for the turret push. So Watley has Demolish as one of his runes.
Why?
I guess if you kill one person and you try and destroy both towers in one push. Maybe?
No, never. You're never going to get as this team, you're never going to get enough Demolish procs to come through for it to be worth, right? Like, you take Demolish if you know you're going to have the push on them constantly, and you can get those procs off on a regular basis. He has 0 at the moment. So in 9 minutes of gameplay, he's got 0 value from that rune. I think that's an error there. Big in. Maybe.
See, if he had the blitz.gg app, then his runes would be the most effective that they could probably...
You better be getting sponsored to shield them.
No, but they are owned by TSM, so, big ups.
We hate TSM out here.
Okay.
Let's go C9.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, I'm just a smarter human. Because I don't support TSM. Watley, you're not hidden, brother.
Watley's just in view,
What they hiding in plain sight? They won't see me if I don't move.
So,
like you said, right? If CS was a rule, big threat
the game
here from Iron
would be about to end, yeah. But it's not.
It's so much gold. Honestly, if it's something like 3 deaths, maybe this would work. But like, I remember they're just doing nothing and wasting our time.
Do you int just for the sake of purchasing items? Like, what do you do? Or do you wait until you can buy 6 items before you int? What? Like...
Honestly, that would be such a big brain move. I feel like if I see someone in and they have 12k gold, I'm also going to in. Right? I'm also running it down. I'm getting my items too. But another snowball goes astray from Watley. But look, the poker's starting to land now.
It's actually landing.
On 50%. But look, he's just going to heal it up. And look, Warwick is excited. Look at him move.
And Brand still has a biscuit as well. So this game's gonna keep going.
You're in for the long haul, lads.
Hey, 100 CS if that was the win condition. Way.
Ooh, good job, guys. You did it.
See, they're really playing patiently because this is the game that knocks you out the tournament if you lose it. So no mistakes coming through here from either side. They do not want to mess up. But I can count on Watley becoming bored, so we'll have to see.
Oh my god, please be careful here. You can't get stopped by the Annie. There it comes.
Oh no, there it is. Okay, there is the cleanse flash. He's got away. Warwick now committing with some damage. Suppression down onto Brand, flashing away from the ultimate, and the Zhonya's does come through to prevent any spread. Warwick is now having to tank up. Exhaust coming down late to stop any return damage. He's taking a lot of it here. Burn coming through from the Ignite. There's the Brand ultimate. Snowball's coming through. Brand is going to live. What on earth is that? And Warwick drops. In return, I think you die here as Brand. I think you commit an honorable seppuku. I'm pretty sure you go for a suicide here.
Oh, the arrow nearly hit. It was so close.
But here's the problem.
Please.
Watley just got a spirit visage. So.
Oh boy. Honestly, good job to Watley, right, for holding on for that long. That was his target. He's now got a spirit visage, a hex drinker, boots, and
more of Malmortius.
Oh, it's the the big hex drinker. Yeah, Woo, you have to go and kill yourself at this point. And the thing is, like, I'm not sure what stops Watley from just running at Handsome Strong at this point if Woo does kill himself.
That's the thing. So they're kind of holding on to the thought that, okay, well, one of us is going to die. It's fine. The other person will live at the same time. So it's okay. We'll get more gold in the pocket in the meantime, and then we'll be able to buy better items. But I don't think so. I think at this point, if one of you dies, the other person's getting dove, and they're dying as well. I think also Watley can probably 1v2 on this health.
Probably,
with these items. Not under turret, so I guess the resolution now is hug turret the entire rest of the game.
Thing is, that gives them, I think, turret chance, but maybe in 2 years' time.
I think Warwick can actually step up now
and demolish
and use a couple of his demolish procs. I'm pretty sure he can justify it now.
Yeah.
They have to. You have to step back as Han Anxiety though, because you can't risk yourself dying.
Just proc your demolish, brother. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, they may be I think the first team to get.
They might be
turrets.
able to win through 2 turrets. It might be an option here.
Oh,
I feel like one turret might have been also the play, by the way. That might have been worth considering, but it's okay. That is not the rules, so we will we'll stop talking about that.
We just blame Jawad for everything. So if you're in chat and you're not enjoying the games, we blame Jawad. But seriously considering this tower going down, and if they can kill the tower and then fight immediately after, they're in such a good position.
Anxiety doesn't have his flash. Oh, the stun didn't come through though. Warwick committing here, ultimate down onto Annie, but the stun is there to interrupt it. But he's just going to walk away now.
Stop hitting him. He doesn't care about any of this damage. Look, he's going right back in. He's exhausted.
Back around. Okay, Exhaust is dropping down. Fear was very, very nice, but they've decided, no, we just have to kill High Anxiety here. Oh, wait, no, he's miles away. We're not killing High Anxiety. He's taking quite a lot of damage now. He's tanking up for a bit too long, and there comes the snipe through. Oh, actually, the shield got popped from Aura Malmortius, and that is gigantic, by the way, when that eventually does come through again. Void stuff on Brand and the Leandries. I I think you win now as red side.
Yeah, I think they had to get the 2 kills there or just do nothing about it, right? You can't send them back.
Can you get 2 turrets here? Do you have to try and commit for 2 turrets? You've
Oh, they're
still
going
got
for the
5
fight
seconds
here.
on Wu.
They're hitting it, but I don't think they'll take this turret in time. Demolish proc. Had some strong will stun up, but he needs to stay safe.
They might be able to get... They have to commit for it. They have to go for the second turret here. They're going to be able to get it, actually. Oh, stepping too far forwards might have been high on anxiety. They're going for the kill. They got it. Threatening the second turret. They were able to go for the kill because the respawn timer was so long for Wu there. They said, you know what? You can have your Annie brand combo. We don't care. We're going to win. And they do.
That was
beautiful stuff.
First of all, right? Everything we said about Prussian Blue, we take it back.
It only took 15 minutes.
We said they failed multiple times, but they made the correct decision in the end. And that was to go for the turret, pressure turret. Wu had to kill himself so much earlier.
Wu should have died when the Warwick did to be able to counter as far as items go, and then they would have got the second kill faster. Also worth mentioning, high on anxiety playing his positioning perfectly there. He stood back right as he needed to. It sounds stupid, but he stood back and it worked.
Sometimes it's really difficult to think to yourself, I'll just let my teammate carry, and that's all he had to do. He had 2 items on him. He was demolishing the tower, right? And unfortunately for the Annie, I forgot their name for a second. Unfortunately for the Annie, they had to fight there to keep the tower alive because they were going to keep smashing it, right? They were going to keep smashing it and go for the 2 tower victory, the victory condition. But in the end, it's going to be the 2 kills, getting it on Strong Handsome.
Playing at 3k range to impress a girl.
Honestly, I'd do it too, but that's just me. But enough about us. I think we're going to go to a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have some more second round action coming for you in a second.